Raceway at Phoenix, Arizona in the Castrol GTX Fall Nationals in the pit area of Don Prudhomme. The crew preparing the Pontiac Funny Car. He'll be racing Mike Dunn in round number 2 funny car action coming up in just a few moments. Right now on the starting line, the TRW special of Joe Amato has come to life. Alongside of him, already completing her burnout, is Laurie Johns.
Joe Amato, in that he is not paired up with the points competitors like Ormsby, LaHaye, Gwent, has got to hope that somebody else takes them out, and that this young lady, in only her sophomore season in the parlay, doesn't take him out on what can be a tricky racetrack. And her rather quick success in this sport, David, well, has raised a lot of eyebrows, including those of Shirley Muldowney.
Certainly has, as Shirley and Laurie have engaged from time to time in a war of words. But on the racetrack, the dominant performance has been, over the last month at least, in Shirley Muldowney's camp. Tim Richards, the crew chief for Joe Amato, directing the traffic, placing that car exactly where he wants it. In front of Joe is his wife, Jerry, relaying the information from Tim Richards. Amato qualified third with a 5:07, while his competition, Laurie Johns, wheeling the Jolly Rancher Candies car, had a 5:17, good for the number 7 spot.
The finest shot Laurie Johns has ever taken at the quarter mile was at this year's U.S. Nationals in Indianapolis. She carded a 5.03 lap time, but that was under far better conditions, maybe 750 horsepower worth.
Laurie Johns in the far lane, rolling considerably forward, but Joe Amato pulls away from her from the start, and Joe Amato advances, continuing to earn points. He runs 5:11 at 277 miles an hour. A nice run for Joe Amato, very safe, very conservative.
I think that's all that Tim Richards wanted this car to do, was run just quick enough to beat Laurie Johns and take no chance of smoking the tires. And you can see he is hooked up, and actually she is spinning the tires a little bit.
By the time they had reached the 8th mile, or halfway point down the racetrack, it was still a close race. Then, in the last few hundred feet, look how Amato pulled ahead to about a half a car length victory. That win now puts the pressure back on this man, sitting inside the unpainted magnesium body, the Castrol Special. That's Gary Ormsby. He must win to keep pace with Amato, who's with Steve Evans.
Joe Amato out of the car. He'll be happy with a 5:11.
Well, Steve, it's lane choice. You know, right now, the big thing what Ormsby does, we're still hoping he can get a gain at some points on this race.
Now, that will pair you up in the semis with Shirley Muldowney. Would you rather be facing one of the points contenders or rather have them duke it out on their own?
Well, sometimes it's better to try and control your own destiny, you know, so I would probably rather be running Ormsby right now, but being as I can't, I hope Darrell can get him right now. Ormsby's the main guy right now. I mean, he's got the lead. He's in first place. He's got to get out of there or else it's almost over.
All right, let's go back to the starting line and watch it.
Steve, it's incredible. Here we are, the 18th race of a 19-race season, and there are still 3, possibly 4 very strong contenders for the Winston Top Fuel title.
And one of them is Gerald Gwynn. Now, he'll be the first to admit he is an ultra-long shot for him to win the thing. But you figure if he can play second, that's worth $20,000 more than third place. So a lot of dollars at stake. And, you know, for these guys, this season might as well just be 2 races long here in Pomona in 2 weeks.
That's Jerry Gwynn, a former world champion at the wheel of a supercharged roadster many years ago. He has watched his son mature into a true superstar of drag racing, winner of 6 national event titles a year ago. Darrell Gwynn qualified second here at a 5:07, while Gary Ormsby, the leader at the moment, was only able to fit into the number 8 spot using a 5:13 to do so.
And any time you face that man, Gary Ormsby, as Gerald Gwynn did at the last race at the Chief Nationals, you know whatever trick is on that car that makes it leave first has done it again.
But look at Darrell Gwynn drive around him. The first 4-second elapsed time ever recorded at Firebird Raceway. A 4:99 at 278 miles an hour. And Gary Ormsby's got to be thinking, where did he come from?
Well, he certainly made no mistake off the starting line. Ormsby had the patented lead. Gwynn with a good lead, but certainly not matching wheels with Ormsby until right now.
At that halfway point, look at Gwynn come on. He just squirts past Gary Ormsby and continues to pull away as they near the finish line until he is more than a car length ahead with a 4:99. Let's go to the far end of the racetrack and Steve.
Gerald Gwynn at this moment has no bigger fan then Joe Amato, he did what you needed him to do.
Well, he did what we had to do, Steve. Now maybe we can have us a race here, you know. Try and win. We got to do good in this race and keep the point pressure on Gary.
Well, you better all watch out for him now.
Well, you know, Darrell's still in there, but maybe he'll be a nice guy and let us win.
All right, let's go to the man of the hour, Darrell Gwynn. No one expected at this racetrack, in this heat, a little bit of altitude, that anybody could run a 4-second elapsed time. They're wrong.
All right, heat of the day, I tell you. We saved the best for Gio. You know, we knew he was going to be tough all day, and 4.99 in Phoenix. I'm just happier than the devil.
I'll bet you are. And Gary Ormsby off to your left. And I think the look on his face pretty well says it all. It's a real horse race now. In just 2 weeks come the Winston Finals for him.
That's a bit of a payback, Steve. It was just a week ago that Gary Ormsby had beat Darrell Gwynn for the title in Dallas. That's Kenny Bernstein intensely looking on as they warm up the engine in his funny car. He faces Jim White in round number 2 action at the Castrol Fall Nationals.